Artifice is the final boss of Lethal Company, with a difficulty of S++, a massive loot average of around 2,000, an average of 1 gold bar per run, and a cost of 1,500 just to get to. It also can have every different weather condition, except for foggy. The goal of this video is to give an extensive breakdown of the moon and how to approach looting it consistently with its high danger level. One of the best things about Artifice is an abundance of cover that comes from the buildings and fences around the map. Looking at the map from above, the ship is located on a hill in the back corner with the main entrance on the opposite side. The fire exit is a very short walk to the right of main, making going between them very easy. During loot transfer, this allows your team to choose between the same paths back from each, giving a lot of options. There are two main paths from the ship to the entrance and back. One is through the front opening in the fence and straight through the middle of the buildings. The other is around the right of the fence and through a secret hole that you have to crouch through into a small shed and out onto the side of the fire exit. However, with old birds very consistently spawning on this map, a key point of survival is having backup branches from the main routes. This is where the buildings and the fence come in. The front two buildings closest to the ship always have their garage door open, allowing you to go in for cover. The door can be closed with a switch just inside, though it is close enough to the opening to leave you exposed when trying to close it. The left building has a small room that old birds can't go in towards the back, that you can go to for cover with the door on the back side. The right building has a similar layout, although the back room is slightly bigger, and old birds and giants can follow you further back. The back right building, closest to the fire exit, is intended to be inaccessible, but it still provides fantastic cover from most monsters' line of sight, while taking the side path. The back left building also has a closed garage, but it is fantastic nevertheless, due to its proximity to the main entrance and multiple small exits that most outdoor enemies can't follow you through. The inside of this building is foggy, so it is good to memorize where everything is. There is an entrance up the stairs closest to main that takes you to a railed platform that goes along the back. The only way up to the platform from inside is the staircase on the opposite side. On the back corner, further from main, is a small exit. Additionally, near the staircase is a doorway that leads across a bridge to the front building, which gives a third option for escape. Taking a closer look at the area near the ship, there are only two main angles that actually allow you to reach it. One is the area between the ship and the fence opening, and the other is the hill on the opposite corner. You can only get out of the valley near the ship door by going around to one of these two areas. Also avoid the valley near the ship front, as there is only one way out if you are being chased. However, the valleys can be helpful for hiding from the gaze of giants and old birds though.
There it goes. Gotta duck behind this corner. And then crouch right there behind this. So hopefully it'll get lost and not see you. If it does see you, you've crouched. And so now you have a little bit more sprint to outrun it. But that's typically how I'd avoid the giant in that situation.
Now on to looting. First off, on your way in, whoever takes the route up the middle should close the garage doors if there are any old birds inside the front two buildings. Artifice is a mansion layout 76% of the time, so it generally should be looted with a similar method to rend or dine, with the exception that it is much easier to pivot between the main and fire exits. It also has a very well-rounded spawn rate for every indoor monster in the game. I recommend sending 2 people to main and 2 to fire, and looting deeper in the maze first before too many monsters spawn. Follow Bread's guide to looting for a thorough description of this method. The basics of looting that you should always be doing is one of you will hug left and the other will hug right until you find the big maze, and then you will start looting the big maze together as fast as you can before too many enemies spawn. Spike traps are a rare occurrence on Artifice, but they are definitely still something that needs to be watched out for.
That's right. Whoa! That's hilarious, bro.
However, Artifice is a special case in that its increased danger level, especially from multiple old birds, usually warrants beginning to transfer loot back to the ship a lot earlier than you would on other moons, at least for most amateur players. The loot density is so high that with 4 people you could usually have 1 or 2 people start transferring as early as 2 p.m. to get heavy items back before the old birds awaken or giants spawn, while the other 2 loot together, with only 3 people to carry everything. You could even send someone as early as 12 p.m. to begin transferring, as we have seen old birds awaken at 11 a.m. before. 2-person games I would still recommend waiting until at least 2 p.m. so that there is more time to loot and you have backup inside. Jetpacks are wonderful for transferring single-handed items on this map, as the ship is fairly isolated from everything and easy to fly to from both entrances. For transferring on foot, it is important to make use of all the different paths and buildings available for cover. Most of what you will deal with is old birds, since they kill everything else, but giants and dogs are also a major threat earlier on, or if no old birds spawn. The stairs in the foggy building are a fantastic escape from most enemies camping the entrance. Also, moving in the areas between buildings and even stepping inside to pass through them is critical to dodge enemies as the day goes on. The most exposed location on the entire map is the open stretch here from the fence opening to the ship. For this reason, if this area is unsafe, you may want to have one player bait the monsters away while you run through this section, or take the side path, which is significantly safer because of the fence and the ability to loop around behind the ship to avoid line of sight with giants and old birds. Trying to lure old birds inside the buildings and then close the door is very inconsistent, as the old bird will usually blast you away from the switch before even being close to inside. It is often better to bait them to the back part of the shed where they can't get to you, and either going out the back door or having a teammate close the switch while it is distracted. Going in the buildings is great for dodging dogs and sandworms, but be careful with baboon hawks because they can chase you through the small doors and flush you out into more exposed areas. We have found that backpedaling or standing still while trying to hide from an old bird that has seen you when exposed is sometimes actually worse than just running right past it. This is because they have the ability to speed towards you in a straight line and grab you, which is actually more dangerous than their rockets. The rockets shoot to where you were as you run, so sometimes they can actually launch you towards the ship or out of the valley you got trapped in. A huge thank you goes to Mater29. He helped with a lot of this in-game footage and the information about Artifice. His YouTube will be in the description. I hope this video helps you in your Lethal Company grind, and don't forget to join our Discord server. We host fun, big group events with everyone, and we would love to have you.